The Galactic Council had watched Earth for many years, from far away. The blue planet looked small and weak. Its people still fought among themselves. Their ships were slow compared to the great fleets of the galaxy. To the Council, Earth was nothing special, just another young world that needed control. So the Council sent a message. It was short and cold. Earth must submit to Council rule. Give us your leaders and your resources. If you refuse, we will use force. The message reached every screen on Earth at the same time. People stopped walking. Drivers froze in traffic. Soldiers and bases stared in silence. The world held its breath. Many expected panic. Some feared riots. Others thought governments would fall. But something strange happened. People laughed. At a small cafe in London, an old man shook his head and smiled. Aliens, he said. Took them long enough. In New York, a young woman filming on her phone said, "Guess we finally made it, guys." In a military base in Pakistan, Colonel Amir Khan leaned back in his chair and folded his arms. "They think we are weak," he said. "That is their first mistake." Across the world, leaders joined an emergency call. Faces filled the screen. Some looked calm. Some looked angry. None looked afraid. The President of the United States spoke first. "We all got the message. They want us to kneel." The Prime Minister of the UK replied, "We did not kneel to kings. We will not kneel to stars." A Chinese general nodded slowly. "They see only our past. They do not see what we have built." Colonel Khan cleared his throat. "Earth has survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and worse. Aliens are just another test." For the next 12 hours, Earth did not reply. The Council waited. They believed humans were scared. They thought Earth leaders were arguing. But behind closed doors, something else was happening. Every major military system went online. Old satellites woke up. Hidden stations powered up. Submarines moved into position. New weapons, never shown to the public, were armed. In deep space, the Council fleet moved closer. Thousands of massive ships spread across the stars like a silver storm. At the front flew the command ship, the size of a small city. High Councilor Zorvik watched Earth grow larger on the screen. His skin was blue and rough like stone. His eyes glowed softly. "They have not answered," Zorvik said. "Fear keeps them silent." His advisor, a thin being with long fingers, nodded. "Once we fire the warning strike, they will surrender." Zorvik smiled. "Prepare the cannons." On Earth, alarms rang in every base. Soldiers took positions. Pilots climbed into jets. Engineers checked systems again and again. Colonel Khan stood in the command room, watching space on a giant screen. He spoke calmly. "All units ready?" A young officer replied, "Yes, sir. Everything is green." Khan pressed a button. A red light turned on. "Send the message." Across space, a signal rushed toward the Council fleet. Zorvik raised a brow as the message appeared. They answered at last. The word surprised him. "Earth does not submit. Leave now. This is your final warning." The Council room went quiet. Then laughter filled the air. "They dare threaten us?" one councilor said. Zorvik waved his hand. "They are proud. Let us break that pride." He gave the order. A single ship moved forward and fired a bright beam toward Earth. It was meant to strike an empty ocean just to scare them, but before the beam reached the planet, something happened. From behind the moon, dozens of small dark shapes appeared. They moved fast. Too fast. "What are those?" the advisor asked. The shape spread out, then flashed. The beam vanished. It was cut in half by invisible force. Zorvik's eyes widened. "Impossible. On Earth." Colonel Khan smiled slightly. Face shields worked. He said, "Good." The Council fleet panicked. They had never seen such tech from a young world. "Scan them," Zorvik shouted. The scans returned strange results. Earth's ships were small, but their energy readings were off the charts. Suddenly, Earth sent another message. "We warned you." At the same time, hundreds of human ships jumped into space. They did not look powerful. They were simple, gray, no glowing symbols, no fancy designs, but they moved with deadly speed. Human ships surrounded the single Council vessel that fired first. "Do not fire," the advisor said. Open talks delayed. One human ship released a silent pulse. The Council vessel froze in place. Its lights went out. Then another pulse. The ship cracked apart, slowly, like ice breaking. Zorvik watched in horror. They destroyed it. Without explosions, he whispered. Earth's voice came again. "Last chance. Leave our space. For the first time in many centuries, the Galactic Council felt fear. Zorvik stood up. This is not possible. They are only humans. But deep down, he knew the truth. They had judged Earth by old history. They had forgotten one thing. Humans learn fast, and they never forget a threat. The council ship drifted in silence. Broken pieces of metal slowly floated away like dead leaves in space. Zorvik could not move. His proud fleet, feared across many systems, now felt small, pulled back. One counselor said in a shaking voice, "We must regroup." Zorvik clenched his fists. "No, if we run now, we lose respect forever." Before he could finish, a new image appeared on the main screen. It was a human man in a dark uniform. His face was calm, his eyes sharp. "This is Colonel Amir Khan of Earth Defense," the man said. "We do not want war, but we will defend our home." Zorvik stared. "How did they break our signal lock?" The advisor whispered. "Their tech it adapts to fast." Khan continued, "You attacked first. You ignored our warning. That ship you lost was a message. Next time, we will not hold back." Some counselors shouted in anger, "We cannot let them speak to us like this." Zorvik raised his hand. Silence. He leaned closer to the screen. "Human, you are brave, but you stand before the Galactic Council. We rule thousands of worlds." Khan nodded slowly. "Yet, you could not stop one small ship." Silence fell. Zorvik felt his pride burn. "You will regret this." The screen went dark. On Earth, Khan turned to his team. "They will not leave. They will strike harder." A young officer asked, "Can we really win?" Khan looked at the screen showing enemy ships. "We are not trying to win. We are trying to survive. That is what humans do best." Across Earth, factories worked non-stop. Old ships were repaired. New ones were built faster than ever. Scientists pushed limits. Soldiers trained day and night. In Tokyo, engineers tested a new engine that bent space in strange ways. In Germany, a team improved shield tech using alien data stolen from earlier probes. In Brazil, pilots trained in low-gravity chambers. Humanity moved as one. In space, the Council fleet prepared for full attack. Giant cannons glowed. Smaller fighters filled the sky like insects. Zorvik stood tall. "Fire in waves. Show them our power." The first wave flew forward. Hundreds of alien fighters rushed toward Earth's ships. Colonel Khan watched calmly. "Activate ghost mode." Human ships suddenly vanished from scanners. They did not disappear. They became invisible to enemy eyes. Alien pilots shouted in panic. "Targets lost. We cannot see them." Then blue lights flashed. Human ships appeared behind them. Short bursts of energy disabled engines. Alien ships spun out of control. No explosions. No screams. Just silence. Zorvik slammed his fist. Change frequency. Damn their systems. But it was useless. Humans already adapted. On Earth, a scientist smiled. "They changed their signal again. We cracked it in 3 seconds. Khan chuckled. 3 seconds slower than last time. Improve it." The council launched bigger ships. These were massive, covered in armor. They fired powerful beams. Human shields glowed bright, but held strong. Shield at 80%, an officer said. "Redirect power." Khan replied. "Let them hit. We need data." The beams struck again and again. Human shields learned. They adjusted. Soon, alien beams bounced off like light on a mirror. Zorvik's face turned pale. "How are they doing this?" The advisor whispered. "They are studying us in real time." Suddenly, Earth's ships changed pattern. They moved in a spiral, closing in. Zorvik shouted, "Retreat," but space twisted. Human ships activated a gravity trap. It pulled alien ships closer, locking them in place. "Boarding teams ready," Khan said. Small human crafts flew out. They landed on alien ships. Soldiers in dark suits cut through metal doors. Inside one council ship, an alien officer raised his hands. "We surrender," the human captain replied. "Good choice." They took control of systems. They learned fast. They copied data. Zorvik watched helplessly as his ships fell one by one, not destroyed, but captured. His advisor shook. "We underestimated them. They fight like nothing we have seen." Zorvik's voice was low. "They fight like they have lost everything before." Earth sent another message. "This is your last warning. Leave our space now." Zorvik looked around. Half his fleet was disabled. The rest were trapped. He swallowed his pride. Open channel. The screen showed Colonel Khan again. Zorvik spoke slowly. Human, we will leave. But this is not over. Khan nodded. It never is. The council fleet began to pull back. Broken ships were left behind. On Earth, people cheered. Cities lit up. Flags waved. For the first time, humans felt strong in the universe. But Khan did not celebrate. He turned to his team. They will return stronger. The officer asked, "What do we do?" Khan smiled slightly. "What we always do. Prepare." Far away, Zorvik sat alone. His pride was gone. His fear was real. "They are not weak," he whispered. "They are becoming monsters." In the dark space behind him, unknown signals moved. Something else was watching. Something older. Something dangerous, and Earth did not know yet. The Galactic Council fleet jumped away, leaving broken ships drifting in silence. Space grew quiet again. On Earth, people celebrated. News channels called it humanity's first victory. Children drew pictures of human ships beating aliens. Leaders gave speeches about unity, but Colonel Amir Khan did not smile. He stood in the command room, staring at deep space. "Victory makes people careless," he said. "We cannot be careless." A scientist stepped forward. "Sir, we recovered data from captured ships. There is something you should see." The screen changed. Strange symbols appeared. Star maps. Red warning signs. "These signals," she said, "they are not from the council." Someone else was watching the fight. Khan narrowed his eyes. "Who? We do not know. But they are ancient. Their tech is far beyond anything we have seen." At the same time, far away in dark space, High Counselor Zorvik knelt before a massive shadow. It had no clear shape, only glowing eyes in the dark. "You failed," the voice said. It sounded like many voices at once. Zorvik trembled. "We did not know humans were this strong. They are evolving too fast." The voice replied, "That makes them dangerous." Zorvik swallowed. "What should we do?" The shadow moved closer. "We remove the problem permanently." Back on Earth, alarm suddenly screamed. Unknown fleet detected. An officer shouted, "They are not council ships." The screen filled with massive dark vessels. They looked alive. Their hulls moved like skin. Energy levels were off the scale. Khan whispered, "So, this is the real enemy." A deep voice filled every channel on Earth. "Humans, you have grown too bold. The galaxy does not need you." Cities went silent. Soldiers froze. Fear spread. Khan pressed the mic. "We do not bow to threats." The voice laughed. "Brave, but useless." The dark fleet fired. A massive beam hit Earth's shields. For the first time, they cracked. Shields at 60%. An officer yelled, "Redirect all power." Khan ordered. Human ships rushed forward. They attacked, but their weapons barely scratched the enemy. "They are too strong." Someone shouted. Khan took a deep breath. "Plan, Black Star." The room went silent. "Sir, that is risky," the scientist said. Khan nodded. "So is extinction across Earth, hidden bases open, deep underground weapons activated, old alien tech mixed with human science. A strange device powered up. It bent space around it." "Target locked," the officer said. "Fire." Khan ordered. The device released a pulse that twisted gravity itself. Space folded. 3 dark ships collapsed into themselves and vanished. The enemy fleet paused. "They can hurt us," the voice said in surprise. Humans attacked again. This time, they aimed smarter. They targeted energy cores. They adapted. One dark ship exploded. Another fell. Khan smiled. "They bleed." The ancient fleet grew angry. They fired harder. Earth shields dropped to 20%. "We cannot hold." An officer cried. Khan closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he spoke calmly. "Open all channels." His face appeared. "Across the world, people of Earth," he said, "today, we fight not for land, not for power. We fight to exist." Soldiers stood taller. Pilots gripped controls harder. Khan turned back, released the swarm. Thousands of small human drones launched. They moved like birds. They slipped past enemy shields and exploded inside systems. Dark ships started falling fast. The ancient voice screamed, "Stop!" But humans did not stop. Within minutes, the enemy fleet was destroyed. The last ship tried to escape. Khan whispered, "No survivors." One final shot. Silence. Space was empty again. On Earth, people cried, laughed, hugged each other. Humanity had faced 2 alien powers and won. Days later, a message arrived from the Galactic Council. We recognize Earth as a sovereign power. We will never threaten you again." Khan read it and smiled slightly. They learned. A young officer asked, "Sir, what if more enemies come?" Khan looked at the stars. "Then we will be ready." Far across the galaxy, worlds whispered about humans, a weak species that should have died, but did not. They did not surrender. They did not run. They fought. And now, the galaxy feared one thing more than any monster: humans.